श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीं दशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। ॐ नारायणः परो व्यक्तात् अण्डमव्यक्तसम्भवम् अण्डस्यान्तस्त्विमे लोकाः सप्तद्वीपा च मेदिनी। Verse onwards. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mayi pashyati tasyahanna pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati sarvabhutassthitam yo mam ekatvamasthitah sarvatha vartamanopi सयोगी मयि वर्तते आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति अर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमो मतः। Then we saw this yesterday. We finished the Bhashya, correct? Yeah. Nirvishesham Brahma Ekatva Vishayam Darshanam Jnanam Yasya Samadarshanaha. We saw that Brahman, what is this Brahman? That which has no attribute, no form, no name, yet without which no form, no name, no attribute can exist. That which is the truth of all forms, all name attributes, itself transcending all forms, all name attributes. That when I claim as the truth of myself, and that happens to be the truth of who? Bhagavan also, then that is called liberation. That is called moksha, ekatva darshanam. That is what is the oneness. Because where is the problem? The problem is between myself and Bhagavan. That is the original problem. There is a alienation. There is a sense of separation. And so therefore, these 3-4 verses really talk about this oneness. And so, going further, etasya atma ekatva darshanasya phalam uchyate. So, the next 2-3 verses are going to talk about the nididhyasana yogi and the practice of nididhyasana, which is in the form of this oneness. So, the oneness is going to be talked about even further, expanding that oneness. And this 30th verse is a beautiful verse because it's also in the form of a promise. That same promise is going to be iterated from the standpoint of Bhagavan and Bhakta in the 9th chapter. Name bhaktaha pranashyati. Name bhaktah pranashyati. It is going to be said later, but here this pranashyati, nasha, nash dhatu also means disappear. Here it means the one who enjoys this oneness in the form of knowledge, which is strengthened by the removal or the elimination of old habits of separation and having a wrong sense of one's own identity, etc. For that person, Bhagavan is no longer an object of devotion. If Bhagavan is not an object, what is Bhagavan? Yeah, myself alone. There is no object. It is me. And so therefore, when you count things in the world, you don't count one more, Bhagavan. Yes, because Bhagavan is never anatma. If Bhagavan becomes anatma, then we are looking at some problems. Because if God is separated from me, God becomes one more object, and therefore the injunction you have to think of God means nothing. Thought number 1, God. Thought number 2, God. Thought number 3, dog. Oh my God. What happened to God? God got replaced by dog. This is not the understanding of this philosophy. Vedanta means that no matter where the mind goes, all that is there is Bhagavan, because I have deconstructed this Bhagavan to be what? Satchidatma, myself. So, name bhaktaha pranashyati, or even sacha me na pranashyati, aham na pranashyami, all these things, that means that I am never out of sight and out of mind for this kind of a jnani. Because wherever the mind falls, what is there? Bhagavan is there. So, that for this jnani, I will not disappear. Why? Because I am non-separate from him or her, and I am non-separate from the world, and so therefore, no matter where the mind alights, that is where I am. And also, that person doesn't disappear for me. Why? Because the Atma of that person is verily, the self of that person is the self of Bhagavan. So for Bhagavan also, there is no disappearing of this kind of a bhakta, jnani bhakta this is. And later on in the 12th chapter also, there will be a refrain of sacha mama priyaha, sacha me priyaha. Such a bhakta is very dear to me. That dear to me we have to read as myself alone here. Myself alone. There is no separation, so there is no missing. Pranashyati means missed, because Bhagavan is missed all the time. That's why there is a yearning for Bhagavan. And the yearning for Bhagavan brings us to the ashram. Where are you? One sits and sings sad songs. Darshan do ghanshyam nath more, akhiyan pyasi re. My eyes are thirsty for you. And then it is said that you live in the temple of my heart, but yet I don't see you anywhere. I neither see the heart as a temple, nor do I see you anywhere. And then it is also said that with your grace, the one that has the one that is what? Pangu. Pangu means what? The lame one will run to Kashi. And will run to Kashi. What are the wordings of that song? Darshana do ghanashyama nath more, akhiya pyasi re. Then next one. See, the answer comes at the right time. Next one. Pyasi re, darshan do ghanashyam. Then मन मंदिर में मूरत तेरी, हाँ, मन मंदिर में मूरत तेरी, फिर भी न दिखे सूरत तेरी. Yeah, they say you live in the heart, but where is your face? I don't see it. And what's in the heart is just lot of veins and blockages. That's all I see. Blockages, pun intended. Okay, and then after that, yeah, then what is the next one? No. Yeah. So the full moon of her union, when is it going to come? And then what is the other one? Because द्वार तेरा, द्वार दया का जब तू खोले. Yes. पंचम स्वर में गूंगा बोले. So when you open the portals of your compassion, O Lord, then the one who was mute is now singing in perfect Shruti, that too. And then the one who could not see is seeing everything and complaining about everything also. Yeah. And then the one who could not, who was lame, is running to Varanasi, Kashi. And then after that, he says, if it was an ordinary thirst, O Almighty One, you can drink water. It is said, drink 8 glasses of water, I'll drink 10, no problem. But this is a kind of thirst that's not that's not a ordinary thirst. And also there is fountains coming from the eyes, perpetual fountain, waterfall from the eyes. And then I could just wipe it off, but this is not an ordinary waterfall. It's just keeping on flowing. How can I tell my eyes, shut up? They are not stopping. What is that? Flowing. And so, आँख मिचोली छोड़ो अभी तुम. Yes, just leave this hide and seek. Stop this hide and seek. Somewhere suddenly you are there. I'm happy. I stopped complaining. I feel you. I see you. Just for a nanosecond, a microsecond. And the rest of the time you are away from me. आँख मिचोली छोड़ो अभी तुम दिल के बासी रे. So they are trying to be Vedantic. I know you live in my heart, but no comprendo, nothing, yeah. Not understanding it at all, not at all understanding it. And so this is this Atma Jnanam with the help of, we'll sing this song tonight, come, yeah. So then, equipped with the lyrics. So then here, therefore, this oneness is talked about for the one who has the knowledge and who has been able to ward off the, what is that? This Dvaita Bhava, with the Dvaita Bhava is a habit, has been able to ward off this habit with the help of Nididhyasana, yoga. So then, so Atma Ekatva Darshanasya Phalam Uchyate, we saw that. And then, so Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, the one who sees me where? Everywhere. Very difficult to see. I told you, for any given person at any given time, about what? 35% of the Jagat is Ishvarized. That too what? Unmoving Jagat, okay? Not the moving parts. Yeah, no, the insentient Jagat, it is easy to Ishwaraize, and then we begin with potted plants, etc. That's also easy to Ishwaraize because they don't talk back. If you don't water them, they quietly dry away. So easy to Ishwaraize, and then we grow to Ishwaraize what? Small furry animals. Yes, you can never do anything wrong, and then no matter what I do, you are still loving me. You are still wagging your tail whenever I come. So that also is easy to Ishwaraize, and so, but there has to be a lot more internal maturity, emotional maturity to do what? To Ishwaraize all the things. Sarvatra means everywhere. Wherever I look, I see you. So Mam Pashyati means now Lord Krishna is talking in first person. So Ishwaram Pashyati, Mam Ishwaram Vasudevam, Adi Shankara will say. So Mam Ishwaram Pashyati. Adi Shankara likes the use of the term Vasudeva. Sarvasmin Vasati. In everybody, in everything, the indweller of all. Sarveshu Bhuteshu Vasaha Yasya Devasya Vasudevaha. It is Sarvasya in all the beings, in all the beings, Sarveshu Bhuteshu Vasaha, and it is Deva. It is the self-effulgent indweller of all. It is self-effulgent and it is the indweller of all, this Satchidananda Atma, which equipped with the causality of being the Srishtikarta, Dharta, Samharta, being the one who is associated with the creator of the universe, the status of the sustainer of the universe, and the status of the resolver of the universe. Free of all those statuses, what is this Bhagavan? Atma. And similarly, the Jiva, with the free of the body, mind, sense complex and the complaints, is what? Atma, Ishvara. So this Ishvara alone is the Atma. So wherever I see, what I see is what? Atma. So yo mam pashyati sarvatra, the person who sees Ishvara everywhere, Atma everywhere. Because, so seeing Anatma everywhere is a problem. So there are many problems. One is Drishyatvam, it's a problem, meaning the objectifiable universe is finite. Finitude is one problem. Bhautikatvam means Bhutebhyaha Jatam. Bhautikatvam is another problem, that everything here has an origin in the Jagat, if you see it as separate. Sagunatvam, Savikaratvam, it is full of attributes, and all the attributes are what? Finite. Savikara, along with modification and changes, all these are, so this is objectification of the Jagat. In objectification, we have Drishyatvam, Sagunatvam, Savikaratvam, Bhautikatvam, all these things are there in the process of objectifying the Jagat. And if we objectify Bhagavan also, Bhagavan becomes one more object which is elusive, and I have to run after. I have to run after that. Okay. So therefore, and finally, one more dosha is there of objectifying Bhagavan, Agamapayitvam. Agamapayi means everything in the life comes and goes, Bhagavan also comes and goes. That's why the song says, Aankh micholi chodo abhitum, stop playing hide and seek with me. Came, went. Bhagavan came, went. So there is no going and coming. That's why Bhagavan is not to be objectified, because Bhagavan is yourself alone, and you need not objectify yourself because you are self-illumined, and you cannot objectify yourself even if you tried. And so therefore, this is so, Mai sarvam cha Mai pashyati, sees everything as in me, which is Atma, in me, which is Ishvara, same thing. And then this is the vision, Ekatva Darshanam, this is the vision, this is Mahavakya in the Bhagavad Gita. And then what is the phala is given in the next line. The first line is the same as the other line. Atma pashyati, it was said in the previous. Sarvabhutastham atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani. And here what is said? Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. Not much difference, same thing. Except Atma is replaced by Ishvara. Why? Atma is Ishvara. That's the only idea here. The last line gives the phalashruti. Tasya aham, for this person, aham, what will I do or what will I not do? Na pranashyami, I will not disappear for this person. Disappear from as an object, because there is no objectification. What disappears is agamapai. What disappears is bhuta bhautika. What disappears is that which has guna. What disappears is that which has vikara. What disappears is that which is drishya, because it becomes adrishya. So here drishya is not there. And so none of the qualities of the object, the attributes of the object Bhagavan has. So the disappearance of Bhagavan is an impossibility. For the one who has this knowledge, I am non-separate from Bhagavan. Bhagavan will not disappear, cannot disappear. So for such a bhakta, who is this bhakta? Jnani bhakta. Jnani, but also bhakta. Why? Because as long as one is endowed with the body, mind, sense complex, there will be a as though difference between oneself and Bhagavan. But really speaking, there is no difference. And this, all the Vedanta Shastra says this. Ahamannam 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 ahamannado ahamannado ahamannadah ahagga shloka krid ahagga shloka krid ahagga shloka krit. How can you dare say that I am the composer of the Veda? This person is saying. And I am the food, I am all, oh, that means everybody will eat you up in one hour. No, I am also what? The eater of the food. This non-separation from Bhagavan is lauded in all the Upanishads. This is Taittiriya Shruti, but in the Kaivalya Upanishad also, Mai Sakalam Jatam, Mai Cha Pratishtitam, Mai Sarvam Layam Yati. Everything is established in me. Everything emerges from me. The whole Jagat emerges from me. The whole Jagat sustained in me. The whole Jagat swallowed up by me. Who is this me? Vasudeva, oneness with Bhagavan. All the compendium of the Upanishads, the Prakarana Granthas, the secondary works, all of them have self-glorification. There is even Atmashtakam, an octet glorifying the Atma. So like this, there is a abiding presence of understanding this oneness and seeing that it is the fruit of self-knowledge. This oneness has to be internalized completely. And so therefore what? So therefore we have this this mantra here, that the one who sees me everywhere and the one who sees everything as me, for that person I am never away, because whatever that person sees, whatever she or he sees, what is that? Bhagavan. So they are always seeing me, they are always in touch with me, Lord Krishna says. So I never disappear from their understanding. And then sacha name pranashyati. And that person also, being the Atma of myself, is never away from me. Never away. I am never away from them. They are never away from me. Poetically put, if just one part was put, it was enough. But to reiterate the understanding of oneness, that there is nothing, I am not separate from Bhagavan, Bhagavan is not separate from me. Bhashya, yo mam pashyati Vasudevam Sarvasya Atmanam Sarvatra Sarveshu Bhuteshu Sarvancha Brahmadi Bhuta Jatam Mai Sarvatmani pashyati. Yeah. First, mam pashyati. Second, mayi pashyati. Both we have to see. Because mam pashyati means, second case is me. Who is this me? Vasudeva. We already saw that. The one that is in all. The one that is the shining light in all. Dyotanatmakatvat. The self-illumined self in all. The indweller of all. The self-evident I in all. Because even animals know they exist. They know that. There is a sense of self in each one of them. And so, it may not be as fully blossomed because they have a certain programming, but it is still there. They know, like even the smallest dog which lives in the purse. What is that called? Chihuahua, yes. Purse dog, wallet dog. If it sees a cat, it doesn't think I am cat. No, it will first look, hiss, and then go back inside the purse. That is what it will do. And so like this, there is no confusion. There is a sense of self. And so that self is not taught in a class. You don't have to have, you can have Tattva Bodha as a beginning Shastra for introduction to Vedanta, but you don't have to have a class on your existence. Nature of your existence, yes, but do you exist or not? Do you need a class? Never. Even the dog doesn't need to be taught you exist. If you keep wagging your finger, it will just follow your finger. That's all it will do. It will not, it will say, what is wrong with these people? These human beings are crazy. That's what it will think, even if it could understand. So you don't need a certificate of existence. Not at all. Birth certificate, yes. You need a birth certificate and you need whatever else. What are those called? Aadhaar card, PAN card, voter card, all this, yes. But if you go there and say, I want to have my existence card, no such thing possible, no such thing needed. Why? That self-existence is self-ratified. It's a self-validated existence, Swata Siddha Atma. Everything else is Pramana Siddha. I alone am Swata Siddha. This is the contrast we should always remember. In the whole Jagat, everything that I want to know, everything that I want to find out, everything that I see, hear, taste, touch, pick up the smell of, is what? Pramana Siddha. Everything is Pramana Tantram. What am I? Swatantram. Swatantra. Other things are Pramana Tantra. Pramana Tantra, don't think, oh, what kind of Tantra? No. Tantra here means dependent. Everything is dependent upon a means of knowledge for it to become evident. What is the means of knowledge that Atma needs to become evident? No means of knowledge. Oh, but you said Veda is the means of knowledge to know the Atma, to know the nature of the Atma, yes, which has been misconstrued as the body-mind-sense complex, but not to know the existence of the Atma. Because you are self-existent, self-evident, self-luminous, Vedanta Shastra is possible. Imagine if the self was not self-evident, how can it be told that you are the truth of everything? Not possible. It would be just like another Jada Vastu in the universe. So therefore, your existence need not be proved, and in fact it cannot be proved. No means of knowledge can prove it. So you see, that's why you are so special. The I is so special because the I is unlike anything else in the universe. And so Vasudevam, so this Vasudeva, this Ishvara, that is the indweller of all, Atmanam. Vasudeva is what? Atma itself. Vasudevam and Atmanam are in apposition, Samanadhikaranya. This Vasudevam, which is one's own Atma, Sarvasya, Sarveshu Bhuteshu, in all beings. And of course, Adi Shankara has to expand on that. Brahmadi Bhuta Jatam. Jatam here is not born, but a host. A host of beings starting with Brahmaji. All the beings, Brahmadi Bhuta Jatam. Everything that is existent. All the devas are what? Ishvara. All the bhutas are Ishvara. All the bhautikas, all the 5 elements are Ishvara. Things that have come from the 5 elements, starting with the smallest amoeba to this body, mind, sense complex, is all what? Everything is Bhagavan, everything is Ishvara. The Atma of the amoeba is the Atma of me. Even when it goes in the intestine and attacks, it is still non-separate from me. That is the understanding. And then Sarvam cha Brahmadibhuta Jatam. What? And then first is Mam Pashyati, Mam Atmanam Sarvatra Pashyati, Sarveshu Bhuteshu Pashyati. That is one half of the first pada. And then the second half is what? Sarvam cha, everything starting with Lord Brahma up till the smallest little virus, Mayi. Everything is seen as existing in me. In me, which is the Atma of all, which is Sarvatma. Sarvasya Atma, Tasmin, Sarvatmani, Pashyati. That which is seen as existing non-separate from me. And then what happens? Tasya evam atma ekatva darshinaha. So for such a person, tasya, who is this person? Evam, in this manner, the one who sees the oneness of the Atma everywhere. Aham. Aham means what? Ishvaraha. Ishvaraha. I, Bhagavan, Lord Krishna. Krishna doesn't mean only Krishna with flute and what is that? Krishna means Bhagavan, Ishvara. So, na pranashyami. What is na pranashyami? Na parokshatam gamishyami. I will never go, I will never become paroksha. Paroksha means what? Removed, remote, far away. So we have 2 words which are opposite. Pratyaksha, which is something right in front, and paroksha, which is far away. Can still be objectified, but is not here, not right now. And then what is Atma? Is Atma Pratyaksha? No. Thought about it nicely and then answered? Okay. Is Atma Paroksha? No. So it is neither Pratyaksha, it's not right here that can be objectified like this pair of glasses, nor is it far away, I have to call myself back. Wait, let me call myself. Are you here? No, I am in the other room. Let me call myself back. Parokshatvam, parokshatam, nasti, atmanaha. Then what is the, so then it fits neither Pratyaksha nor it is Paroksha. We have to bring a special word just for Atma. Aparoksha. Where did we get this word? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Mahavakya Sakshad Aparokshat Brahma. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I don't have the citation, but somewhere it is. It's like finding a needle in a haystack. What is the haystack? Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So, but it's a very famous Mahavakya. You will Google it, not on my time, after the class, okay? Yeah. So you can Google it and find out. So Sakshad Aparokshat Brahma. So that which is Sakshat means what? Acharya of this ashram. No, that Sakshat means right here, right now. Aparokshat, never far away. Not objectifiable, therefore never pratyaksha, and then never far away, which is the nature of myself alone, which is because it has to be said, never right here, never far away means that which is also far away is what? Myself alone. That which is objectifiable is also myself alone, but I am not any of them. That is the idea. So then this Ishvara, aham Ishvaraha na pranashyami. So I will never disappear for them. meaning they will never sing the song Darshanado Ghanashyam. Oh, so sad. So they will never be singing that song. Why? Because Bhagavan is always there with them, as the Atma. Bhagavan is always present, always there. So then, na parokshatam gamishyami. Sachamena pranashyati. Who is the saha? Sahacha vidvan. Vidvan means the one who knows, the knowing one. Very interesting, the word vidvan. So vidvas it is, and so that vas is a substitute of shatru. So therefore vidvan means knowing, always knowing. That is the one. Because once you know this, there is no turning back. You can't say, I am enlightened today, yippee. What happened? I became unenlightened all of a sudden. Not possible. Knowing which there is no turning back. Every Upanishad says that. And so this is the word vidvan is formed by the present continuous pratyaya, and so that means the knowing one, the one who is never, it is not. See, sometimes when somebody has, this is a new lingo, when somebody has a experience where they saw something they did not want to see, but then it is impressed on the mind, they will say, I wish I could unsee that. I cannot unsee that. And here, after gaining Atma Jnanam, Atma knowledge, you cannot say, I wish I could unknow that. It's not possible. You can never not know. That is the nature of ignorance. Once it is spirited away, it is gone. Why? Because it is what is jnanam? Ajnana virodhi. Virodhi means opposed to ajnanam. So when that ajnanam is spirited away, it does not come back and occupy the same place again. Then where will it go? Into somebody else's head. Thank God. I don't have to worry about it. And so, such a vidwan, who is this saha? This saha is vidwan, the knowing one. So, mama vasudevasya, the one who sees me, mama vasudevasya na pranashyati, na parokshi bhavati. Well, so the one who sees, the knowing one, the enlightened one, the jnani, will never disappear from me. Na parokshi bhavati, will never go far away from me, because the Atma of the jnani is known as what? The Atma of all, including the truth of Ishvara. So the one who has pierced through Ishvaratvam, the one who has, as it were, dismantled the Ishvaratvam. What is Ishvaratvam? Ishvaraness. What is Ishvaraness? The status of being the one who is in charge of this world, the one who created this world, unto whom the world resolves. These are all statuses as though superimposed upon that Satchidananda Atma, which is ever free of that status. What is Jivatvam? Jivatvam also is a series of statuses. What is the status? Jivatvam, what does it include? Mostly complaints. Yeah, that is the separating factor between Jiva and Ishvara. Ishvaratvam and Jivatvam, the Tvam goes away, and what remains? Don't say Tat, because this is a different kind of the Tvam, okay? This is not Tvam as in you, but it is Tvam as in abstract noun, like Manushyaha plus Tvam, Manushyatvam, humanity, humanness. This is the abstract noun of the word human. Ishvaratvam, Ishvarahood, Ishvaraness. Jivatvam, Jivahood, Jivaness. So Jiva hood is a hood, okay? You remove the hood, the person is Satchidananda. Ishvara hood is another very fancy hood. And then you remove that hood, what is there? Satchidananda. So the one who has been able to do that cognitive dismantling and understood has deconstructed the term Ishwaratvam to understand it as Satchidananda plus a few names and forms, and Jivatvam as Satchidananda plus a few complaints. The one who has decoded it on both the Tvam level and the Tat level, that is who is Vidwan, and for that Vidwan I am never far away, and for me that Vidwan is never far away. Why? Because ekatmakatvat, ekatma bhava, because there is oneness, because we are really one. It's like the same person wearing two different masks. You see, in the Greek theatre, ancient Greek theatre, two masks are there. What is one mask? Smiley. Another mask? Scowly. Smiley, Ishvara; Scowly, Jiva. Yes. And you wear the Ishvara. What? Who is wearing the Ishvara mask? Satchidananda Atma. Who is wearing, as it were, the Jiva mask? Satchidananda Atma. You remove the mask, it is what? Atma unmasked. And the mask is mithya. Mask is mithya. Mask is not satyam. And so ekatmakatvat, because there is identity of Ishvara and the Jiva. Because of that ekatma bhava, because of that ekatma hood, the Ishvara hood and the Jiva hood are seen for the truth of both of them. Both of them are what? Atma, oneself alone, oneself alone. Why? Adi Shankara goes to say, Svatmahi Nama Atmanaha Priyaha Eva Bhavati Yasmacha Aham Eva Sarvatma Ekatva Darshi. So, Svatmahi Nama. Svatmahi Nama means one's own Atma, indeed. Nama means indeed. Indeed, it is dear to what? Atmanaha. Oneself is dear to oneself. No, you got it all wrong. I suffer from self-loath. One may suffer from self-loath. One may suffer from self-critique. Yet, what is it that one is rejecting? The complaining self one is rejecting. But one really is in love with oneself. That is what it is. Really speaking, the self is the dearest of all. That is why in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad we have Atmanastu Kamaya Sarvam Priyam Bhavati. Everything is dear for the sake of the pleased self. So, self-critique is because I feel like the self is displeased. So, I want to be in touch with the pleased self. I try to bring out the pleased self by going places, being with people, doing things, being in nature, etc. I try to bring out the pleased self. And then one makes the mistake thinking that the pleased self has come out. Why? Because of a object in the face of being face to face with a particular object, the pleased self has come out. This is the idea. But that is not the true, because there is no such thing as a happy place. No, I went here, it was wonderful, it was a happy place. Go another time and see how happy it is. Same place will become sad place. There is no happy time, even though in certain places we have this happy hour. Happy for whom? Only the bartender, okay? Yeah. He makes money, that's why. So, rest of the people who are going there are sad people. So, no happy hour, no happy time, no happy place in particular. So, what is happy? Atma is happy. Atma alone is happy, and the happiness which is Atma-centric is juxtaposed onto objects. This is a pure transference. This is the transference that one does. And this objectification of this happiness onto other, this happiness which is not an object, is my nature, is objectified by transferring it, by projecting it onto various objects. At least if it was just with objects, it's okay. But then it's also people. If this person is in my life, then only I will be happy. It's projection of my own happiness onto the other person. Then if this condition is there in my life, then I am happy. Like the dog chewing the bone and then getting, its tongue is bleeding because it's a dry bone. And then what does it say? Raso bhaisaha. It says, oh, such a juicy bone. No. What is the juiciest thing is Atma. Rasaghyevayam labdhva nandi bhavati, anandi bhavati. The gaining this rasatmakaha Atma, this Atma which is the truth of everything, which is the juice of everything, which is the sara of everything. That is the truth of that, and gaining that alone is the source of happiness. But not knowing that, I throw the happiness, I project the happiness onto the Jagat. And therefore, Adi Shankara reminds us, Svatmavidyananda, Atmanaha Priyaha Eva Bhavati. So actually we should turn the sentence on its head. We should take this part first. Yasmacha aham eva sarvatma ekatva darshi, because I am alone the truth of everything, and I am the seer of everything, the one who perceives this as me as everything. For that person, one understands that one's own self is definitely the most dear thing. So the one who sees everything including Bhagavan as oneself. Why? Because the person has known that the self indeed is everything. And then one more citation is there from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Tadetat preyaha putrat preyaha vittat preyaha anyasmat sarvat sarvasmat antaratma yadayam atma. 148 or somewhere there. So tadetat preyaha. This alone is the most delightful. More delightful than children, more delightful than belongings. Vitta means wealth. More delightful than anyasmat, than anything else, sarvasmat. And that which is the innermost, which is the truth of I, that is the most beloved. Tadetadeva preyaha. This alone is the most beloved. So this way, therefore, one has to be what? Ekatma darshi. There is only one Atma, and I am committed to seeing the I as everything else, seeing myself everywhere and seeing everything as non-separate from me. Same thing. Continuing. Same idea. Okay? Not much different. And Adi Shankara also just gives 1 line, 2 line Bhashya to show that this has already been talked about. This also is Phalashruti. What is that? Sarva Bhuta Sthitam. So the one who is Sarva Bhuta Sthitam Mam. So Mam, who is Mam? Ishwaram. Ishwaram Sarva Bhuta Sthitam. Yaha Bhajati. Yah ekatvam asthitah bhajati. All that go together. Yah ekatvam asthitah go together. Then that is the karta. And then what is the karma of the sentence? What is the object of the sentence? Sarva bhuta sthitam mam. And then what is the verb? Bhajati. Bhajati worships. Worships. and worships, the one who worships. So here the day-to-day life of the jnani is talked about having a worshipful attitude. The worshipful attitude towards what? Towards me, who worships me as the truth of every being everywhere. That is why even small insects, when they come, what do we do to them? We have an escort service. We escort them out, take it in a small handkerchief, and then say bye-bye, take it in a piece of paper, or for bigger things, upturn a glass on them. And up till then, yes. After that, what? You have to put a piece of paper under the glass. That's where it gets very clever, and it goes up. It climbs on the glass and goes. Doesn't come down. So you have to be a little clever. But anyhow, so this is the idea. Mosquito also, we go like this. Yeah. And we take it out. And then when we go like this, what happens? Nothing is there in the hand. Mosquito is still there in the room. Yeah. So why is all these practices there? Of course, this is only there in the ashram premises, I suppose. Everywhere else, the mosquito gets instant moksha, pachak, finished, gone. Chutney and chutney, drishtaphalam, adrishyaphalam, moksha. That's all it is. We just have this habit. Anything that comes, you just go like that. So, but with a little more awareness and seeing everybody around, we also get to this place of escorting things outside. Of course, the bigger they are, the more difficult it is to escort. Yesterday only somebody texted me and said there was a 4-inch snake. Yeah, in my basement there was a 4-inch snake. I said, what did you do? Locked myself up in the room. Yeah, best thing to do. Yeah, let it go anywhere. Let it be sarvagaha. From uragaha it becomes what? Sarvagaha. Uragaha means the one that moves along with its chest, with the help of its chest. From uraga it becomes what? Sarvaga. Let it go anywhere. And then from the safety of the locked up room, she called the pest people. And they came, and fortunately it hadn't gone anywhere. It was right there, and it was escorted out for a small fee. And so like this, the awareness grows that everything is Bhagavan, first step, like we said yesterday, and after that everything is me alone. And with the insects we can practice that. You can say, that could very well be me. How would I like to be treated? Would I like to become chutney? What will be the answer if you are honest with yourself? Absolutely not. So like this, and in fact in Jainism, this ahimsa is taken to another level. They will put a screen on the nose and mouth, not to inhale anything by mistake. Wherever possible, they will walk barefoot, and they will not eat anything grown under the ground, because potato, etc., will come with a few non-vegetarian things attached to it. It could. So therefore, and also harvesting the potato is killing a lot of things, so therefore they don't eat that. So they take this ahimsa to a completely different level. And so like this, the one, what does it say here? Yeah, sarva bhuta sthitam maam bhajati yaha. So yaha maam bhajati. And who is this yaha? The yaha is the person who is ekatvam asthitaha. Ekatvam asthitaha, sitting in oneness, abiding in oneness, not going away, not swerving from this oneness, the one who sees me in everything and worships me. Oh, I have to do arati to every cockroach? No, that's not the idea. Yeah, just understanding is enough, and seeing everything has a right to live, and everything is important and has a right to live because it is Bhagavan. That is the idea. And in olden days, they already had an organic form of pest control, Rangoli. And nowadays Rangoli is made of quarried stone powder. No, it should be made of rice powder. That rice powder you put there, feast for all the insects, and they are told you stay there. You have lunch out. I will have lunch in. You go out for lunch, I stay in and have. So there is a natural way of doing this, and then the whole house used to be swept with cow dung. Cow dung was again not the current cow dung. No, current cow dung is very inorganic, because even as we walk outside here, we see the cows eating cardboard, alas, plastic, very, very painful to see that. And but the previous cows which were in the Goshala, which were in one's backyard, were fed the best of things, and then the cows, every part of the cow is used. And so the cow dung was for fuel, and the cow dung lepanam, the whole house was anointed by that. And all these ants, cockroaches, they hate that. They would not come anywhere near. This is how the thing was managed, to keep everything at bay and to show them a little boundary, because they don't know. So we show them what is their boundary. And so like this, bhajati means is sevate, is worshipful. Worshipfully treats the entire universe as having a right to live. And then bhaja sevayam. And who is this person? Ekatvam asthitaha. Himself, herself, abiding in the oneness, sees through the duplicity, the duality of the universe, and sees oneself in everything, everywhere, at all times. And then the person is the sarvatha vartamanaha. Sarvatha vartamanaha means no matter what the person does, no matter where the person is, whatever mode of life they adopt. Maybe the jnani is a sannyasi, or maybe the jnani is a what? Funeral grounds keeper. Like where? Manisha Panchakam. Funeral grounds keeper. Maybe the jnani is. Still, sada mai vartate, is never separate from me. Always with me, never separate from me, always in me. That is the idea. And then the end of the Tattva Bodha says that there are certain rules, or there are certain customs of what happens to a person who, there are some beliefs, customary beliefs. What is that? If you die in Kashi, you get moksha. Moksha means what? Going away for a long time, loka. So you get some good lokas if you die in Kashi. That's why Varanasi is overloaded by senior citizens. Everybody comes there. Yeah. It's the greatest population of senior citizens congregated in one area. Where? Varanasi. So they will go thinking that I will die here and then I will get moksha. Because they have not studied Vedanta, they think this is itself moksha. Dying here is moksha. But Lord Yama has the last laugh. Death will not come. They wait. Then they get a letter from home. They are staying there for 20 years. Nothing has happened. They are hale and hearty, enjoying life, going to temples, etc. And then the letter comes. You have a great grand baby. Come, let us do archana with gold pieces and water. It is done. All the generations are kept in one place, and then the abhisheka is done, the worship is done. Oh, how can I miss that? Saying this, the great grandma goes and then dies in her village, okay, after spending so much time in Kashi. So this dying in Kashi or dying in some other holy place, if the religion is different, could be that some other place, if you die according to that religion, so some, you'll go straight to God. So maybe there is a belief. So like this, all this does not apply to the jnani. The end of the Tattva Bodha says, such a jnani has no rules. They can eat in the dog eater's house, and they can also die in the dog eater's house. There is nothing that happens to them, because there is no body consciousness. I am body iti consciousness is not there. There is no I am as good as the mind. This kind of a consciousness is not there. And all of this not being there, all the rules that apply to the regular people do not apply to the jnanin, do not apply at all. Because ko vidhihi ko nishedhaha, ko vidhihi ko nishedhaha. There are no vidhis, there are no rules, there are no injunctions, there are no prohibitions, and that is what is talked about. Sarvatha vartamanaha. Sarvatha means in whatever manner the person chooses to live. One of the most celebrated teachers in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad lived under a broken down chariot and had a lot of skin disease, always scratching himself till he bled. And then that is how he was, but great jnani. So whether the person lives under a chariot or the person lives in a palace doesn't touch at all. There is no affectation of any kind at all ever. So sarvatha vartamanaha api hu yahamam bhajati ekatvam asthitaha saha yogi. The one who in the first line of the shloka is the one who, established in oneself, is worshipping me everywhere, has a worshipful attitude everywhere. That person, no matter what the lifestyle, whatever the lifestyle, that yogi is never away from me, never away from me. Iti etat पूर्वश्लोकार्थं सम्यक् दर्शनम् अनुद्य तत्फलं मोक्षः abhidhiyate. So if we say, oh my God, OMG, this is the same as verse 30, and verse 30 was the same as verse what? 29. Verse 29 was the same as 28. If we go down that and become jaded, Adi Shankara wants to nudge us a little and wake us up and say, no, there is a difference. What is the difference here? It says that those verses, Purva Shlokartham, what was the Purva Shlokartham? Purva Shlokartham was Samyak Darshanam, the equanimity in the vision, that everything is non-separate from me. That was the gist of the previous shlokas. The gist of the previous shlokas was to show the Samyak Darshanam of the Jnani. Samyak Darshanam means the Ekatva Darshanam, to show the vision of oneness, non-separateness between oneself and the Jnani. So between Bhagavan and the Jnani, between Atma and the Jnani, in various ways that oneness was unfolded. Then Anudhya means Uktva, having said all that in 28, 29, 30, 31, etc. Then Tat Phalam Abhidhiyate. So here what is happening? In the 31st verse, Moksha is elucidated. Moksha is being talked about. Moksha is being unfolded. Abhidhiyate, explained. How is moksha is being explained? Let us see. Sarvatha sarva prakaraihi vartamanaha api samyak darshi mayi vaishnave parame pade vartate nityamuktaha eva saha na moksham prati kenachit pratibadhyate ityarthaha. Yeah. So here having unfolded the nature of the vision of oneness enjoyed by the Jnani, the phala of that in the form of moksha is being elucidated. And what in how is it going to be said? Sarvatha. Sarvatha, sarvada also. Sarvatha. Sarvatha means sarva prakaraihi. The prakara here means lifestyle. Could be a sannyasi, could be a grihastha. have sannyasa vritti, live on alms, be in an ashram, be in the hills somewhere, be in a hut somewhere, doesn't matter. Or even live in the world, or even live in the forest like Raikwa did. Does the lifestyle doesn't matter. Could be having a job, need not be having a job. Could be working for so many people for Loka Sangraha, need not be working for Loka Sangraha, because this is all prarabdha vasha. Because the jnani doesn't decide, hey, now that I have Atma Jnanam, I think I will start some project to help people. There is no sense of I, so where is the sense of starting? And the 12th chapter is going to tell us Sarvarambha Parityagi, for whom any arambha is also no starting business, no starting a business, no starting business. There is no starting at all, no starting for whom? No arambha is there, Sarvarambha Parityagi. That person is called Sarvarambha Parityagi because mentally free of I notion, I as doer, I as the one who is the agent of action. That agency has dropped from the I, and so therefore that person doesn't have a pressure to start anything. So then the question we beget the question, what is that? How come some jnanis just live in the same place? They were born in the same place, they live in the same place, they die away in the same place. Whereas other jnanis are all over the place. This is not from one's desire. This is based on prarabdha. Prarabdha means from other life, whatever they have brought, the karma shesha, which was before the knowledge, so that is why they will go. They can choose not to go also. They can say, I am not going along with this prarabdha is not mine after all. But they seeing everything as Bhagavan and Bhagavan's will, and everything is that Bhagavan which is Ekatma Darshanam, which is oneself. They choose to not go against that. They say, okay, my lifestyle is taking me everywhere, so I will just go do this, do that. Some Mahatmas start many things. Like aim for seva, so many things are there. So like all these things, some people don't start anything, some people write a lot of books, some people don't even write one word. So this is all based on the jnani's prarabdha. So we don't even know how one day is going to go. How does the jnani know the whole prarabdha? That is what it is, because there is no attachment to that. There is no identification with that, so one is in touch with that, and so therefore sarva prakaraihi, doesn't matter how one lives. One can live in a palace, one can live in the forest, one can live in one place, one can go around, one can have a job, one can be jobless, one can be a grihastha, one can be a sannyasi, doesn't matter. Sarvatha vartamanaha. Vartamanaha means being, living. So sarvatha sarva prakaraihi vartamanaha api samyak darshi yogi mayi vartate. What is mayi? Vishnoho paramam padam was told at the end of the Ratha Kalpana chapter in the Kathopanishad. So what is that to be gained? At the end of the chariot imagery, where are the horses headed? Where is the road headed? Vishnoho paramam padam. Not Vaikuntha, okay? That is not a place. Vishnoho Paramam Padam, the ultimate abode of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu here means Sarva Vyapi Atma, that which is all pervasive Atma. So Vaishnava, Vishnoho Idam, Vaishnavam. So Vaishnave Parame Pade, the locative. So in that which is the ultimate goal of what? Oneself, Atma, which is what? All pervasive Atma. The all pervasive Atma cannot have a particular location as its goal. So I, the Jiva, understanding that I am all pervasive Atma is the goal. So that is it. That is what is called Vaishnava Padam or Vishnoho Paramam Padam. Adi Shankara remembers that he said that this was said in the Kathopanishad. So Vaishnave Parame Pade Vartate is always in that truth of oneself, which is without a second, which is not going, which is not coming, which is not located anywhere, which is the truth of every being, including Ishvara. So that is where the person's real home is. In other words, one is at home with Om. So that is where one is. One is not anywhere else. So therefore you can't ask the person, where did you come from? Nowhere and everywhere. Where are you going? Nowhere, everywhere. That is the idea. Then what else? We'll finish this because there is so little left. So Nitya Muktaha eva saha. Nitya Muktaha means ever free. Jivan Muktaha, even while alive, ever free. So Jivitaha, even though the person is alive, we don't have to die for getting moksha. Jivan san muktaha. The person while alive is nitya muktaha, always free, ever liberated. And then meaning what? Sana moksham prati kenachit pratibadhyate. Meaning that there is no obstruction for such a person on the so-called road to moksha. There is no road, etc. This is just figurative. There is no road. So on this so-called journey from ajnanam to jnanam, this person has shattered all obstacles and gained that understanding that I am free. Even while living, I am free of sorrow, fear, afflictions, and a sense of smallness and centered on this I. I am no longer that. This much has become very, very clear. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.